Okay, let's assume that we have this picture where we want it. The color's good, the subject matter's good. The only challenge we're up against is the aspect ratios. So how the customer wants it cropped. It's either for a customer or for you. If you're capturing it for yourself, you capture a little more information on the edges than you wanted so you can crop it later. Same thing for any client or customer, is you capture a little more width and height than you think you need just so you can crop it later. That's my rule of thumb. So the crop tool, go over to the left, it's sort of top left, and it's this guy right here. Yes, I know, I'm just trying to show. There we go. That guy, that's the crop tool. Now, if the crop tool shows up, there's a ratio to it. So any tool selected here that's highlighted has attributes in the top left. Ratio, if ratio is just checked, it means that there's no specific aspect ratio. So you can grab a corner and crop whatever you want. You can make it whatever size that you want. It's really, really, really free form. Now that seems cool to do, but either a customer's asking for something specific. Think about it. If it's a web banner, it's probably a really narrow ratio. If it's Instagram, it's probably a square or a 4x5. Or if it's a website, it has different ratios. If it's print, magazine, blah, 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 an advertisement, it has different ratios. If it's for you, then you might want to consider, well, whether you're putting on Instagram or other social media, what their ratio is, or if you're going to print it, is you're going to make an 8x10. What size are you going to make it? You're going to make it 16x20. You're going to make it a 5x7. So in the crop tool, that's where the ratios are. So 1x1 is a square. No matter how big or small you make it, it's going to be a square. (16:9) is a standard cinematic ratio. So YouTube or Vimeo will recognize this. Okay. Are you going to make a print that's 4x5? Are you going to make a print that's 8.5x11? That's a common, actually 8.5x11. That's a photocopier size, right? So pay attention to the ratios. Pick one based on what your client needs or what you need. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to do a square. I'm going to do 4x5. I'm going to stick with the Instagram thing. Okay, 4x5, we can do this way. Or if I take the corner and push it up, it makes it into a horizontal versus a vertical. Horizontal, vertical. Now what I need to pay attention to, if I go beyond the lines, there's no information here, so I need to stay within the picture. But can you see how, where am I? So I'm at 4x5 up here. I'm not going to worry about straightening, but if I go to this symbol right here, at this little arrow, I have the rule of thirds. Or I can have the golden ratio, or I can have the golden spiral. Let's stick with the rule of thirds. Okay, so we have this grid mark that has these 1/3 marks. I'm going to expand this because I want as much of this picture as possible, but I want to make it into a vertical, just to be difficult. I let it go, and you see the pointer. If I left click, so it's my index finger, and hold it down, I'm moving the picture behind this grid. And I can move my main subject into one of these crosshairs of the thirds, so he becomes naturally one of the more interesting characters. And the horizon line is still on the top third line. So even though he's not centered, this is a natural place to look. We tend to accept when things are right here on one of these intersections of third lines, or on a 1/3 line horizon, or a 1/3 line vertical. So if I like where I am, I just double click, and there's my image. Okay,